Toastmasters honored guest. My name is Robin Van Huis. I picked that up on your literature that I needed to properly introduce myself. So, my speech today is going to be Speak Up for Safety. A brief credibility statement. I've got 30 years experience in power plants, which are known for their safety programs. And I was a safety chairman for 3.5 years at a Cal OSHA VPP site, which is the top notch that the state puts out. It's much harder to get than the feds. So we've had quite a bit of safety training. There's a couple things I'd like to go over time to get done here tonight. Are you safer at work or at home? Now that's a good question. And what is the easiest yet hardest thing to do to prevent accidents? Well, back in the 1970s, OSHA was created to protect the workers and make the workplace safer. That was great for the workplace, but all those rules, they don't apply at home. There are no rules or laws that regulate what happens there. And so is it safer at home or work? OSHA website reported over 5,000 deaths last year. The Home Safety Council reported 20,000 home deaths in the same period. So, along with 21 billion medical visits each year that happen from home accidents, that's 4 times the deaths that happen at home. And I chose to pick deaths as a benchmark, not because it's morbid, because you can't hide a body very well. I mean, you can hide an accident. Oh, I did this at work. People hide accidents all the time, but you can't hide a death. So, and it was easy to extract it because it gets kind of convoluted with all the different sources that I had to pick from. The Bureau of Labor Statistics listed transportation and falls as the leading killers at work, and the Home Safety Council reported falls and poisoning is the leading cause of death at home. Why would you ask? Do all these deaths happen? Well, it's cutting corners for one. Improper tools, lack of training, no supervision, and no rules, basically. And the costs of this are staggering. Part of it, the physical pain is obvious, and the emotional stress that comes along with it, and of course then there's financial costs. Both the cost of the medical and the lost wages, and the cost not just to yourself, but to your family. So safety is really important at home. Now picture this. We have a man working out in the sunshine today, and he's 20 feet off the ground. He has no fall protection. He's had little training or experience on ladders. The ladder is on a block of wood to keep it from sinking into the ground, and it's not tied off. You know, have you ever seen something like that? I've seen it. And I've seen it at home, and I saw it on Facebook one time, and I said something, you know, that looks really unsafe, and I got an amen from the wife just about 5 minutes later, because she couldn't talk him out of it. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. And sometimes, you know, we've done it ourselves, because it's just going to take a minute. And I'm only going to be up there for a second. You know, I really don't need to, you know, just real quick, up, down. It just doesn't take long to get hurt. So what could happen if they fall? They could be paralyzed for life, injured, or you could die. How would that impact your family? Well, you'd lose income. You'd lose companionship. You'd lose all kinds of things. You would change your life pretty much forever. If you survive, it's changed forever. If you die, your family suffers. So it's not just that you'll suffer, you have the pain. Your family will have pain that endures long after that. But safety is not something that we normally think about at home. We just think about getting the job done and saving money. We'll do it ourselves, whether we know how to do it or not. I mean, that's how I learned how to work on cars. I mean, I learned how to break things and then how to fix them. And, you know, but there is a point where I do call professionals and say, you know, I just can't do this. You just can't do everything. You can try, but you just really can't. So what can you do, what should you do if you see this guy working out in the sunshine of the day? First one, you want to stabilize the ladder and say, come on down. So you want to speak up, you want to say something to him. And speaking up may be the simplest thing to do, but it's probably the hardest thing to do. Because I've worked with guys at work. I'm the new guy. He's been here 30 years. And I see him doing this, and he knows it's against the rules, but he does it anyway. For you to speak up and say, you're not doing, what are you doing? It's like you're really stepping out of your box, but that's what they're encouraging you to do at work nowadays, is they want you to step out of your box and just point, don't rat him out, just, hey, what are you doing? Have you considered the consequences to your family, your coworkers? You may be fine, but what if something falls and you hit somebody else? You're not going to be very happy about that. So speaking up is really a difficult thing to do. So picture a situation where you're next to a colleague that's fallen down, that you didn't help. How can you face the family of the person who died? You've got to live with that, because you saw it, you turned your back, and you walked away. That's a choice, and it is a choice. And I don't think that's a good choice, but I've been in that position where you have to just kind of, sometimes you just stand back and you have to be there to call the ambulance. So, statistically, you're safer at work than you are at home. The laws apply at work, but they don't apply at home. They're unenforceable. It's hard to hide a body. I love that. I talked with Mike about that. I said, it's hard to hide a body. So I use, say death, and I said, no, we use body. It makes more impact. But injuries are often hidden by pride. So what can you do? Like I say, the hardest thing for people to do is to speak up and not confront them, but just warn them that it's probably not something in their best interest. So next time you have a home project, ask for help to start with. And speak up, and you may save a life.